Hey everybody, it's Melissa, and today I'll talk about the 3 ETFs that I bought in my 20s that will set me up for financial success in my 30s, 40s, 50s, and so on. And we're gonna keep this very casual. I wanna talk to y'all like we're grabbing a drink or grabbing a coffee, okay? So I started investing when I was 24 years old. I'm 30 now, so I've only been investing in the stock market for 6 years consistently. Now, when I was 24 years old, I got my very first big girl job where I was making $45,000 a year. And once I got that very first paycheck, I told myself, I said, you know what? I want to make sure I have a high yield savings account and the high yield savings for my emergency funds. So that I wanted to build to 3 to 6 months worth of income, right? And the second thing was my brokerage account. Brokerage accounts, it could either be Charles Schwab, Fidelity, Vanguard. Those are the big three. There's also Robinhood, if you're someone that was a beginner like myself, and the other three kind of might have intimidated you, then Robinhood is a good one to start with. But if you can just jump into one of the big three, then that's great as well. Okay. So I remember that Friday morning, I got my paycheck. I put $500 into my high yield savings account, and then I put $500 into my brokerage account. And the very first ETF that I bought was the ticker symbol VOO. If you search up VOO, it's basically the S&P 500. So it tracks the top 500 companies in the United States. And for me, that was something that was important because I didn't want to be looking for individual stocks to buy all the time. Especially, I'm a beginner, I'm new to this, I'm also new to my job. So I want to make sure that when I'm putting my money aside, I trust that it's going to be, relatively low risk. And I just plan to keep contributing to it as often as I could. And that means whenever I would get paid, I would put money into my brokerage account and then put it into these 3 ETFs. But VOO had amazing companies in it. I mean, to me, I consider VOO like a greatest hits playlist. You know what I mean? It just has all the greats in there. And if you don't know what an ETF is, quick rundown, just think of a basket of different stocks. Like imagine going to the grocery store and having, like, instead of picking individual fruits, you're like, let me just grab a fruit basket that will have basically everything that you need in it, right? So that's basically VOO. And the second ETF that I got is called QQQ, Triple Q. And this one is a tech heavy ETF. And I do like tech. Tech has been absolutely moving over the past few years, even longer than that. So I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't mind having some tech heavy, like a tech heavy ETF in my portfolio. Now, when I was younger, I wasn't looking too much at the overlap that these ETFs had with each other because there are some stocks in QQQ that are present in VOO. But to be honest, I don't mind a little bit of overlap like that, truthfully. Now, the third stock that I got, or the third ETF that I bought, was the ticker symbol SPY. Now, SPY is very similar to VOO. But the reason why I bought it was because as a new investor, I didn't feel like I wanted to have what I call a dinosaur in my investment portfolio. What I mean by that is I needed to see an ETF that has been here throughout a good amount of recessions. I needed to see something that has thrived since ETFs first started. And I believe when I did my research back then, I think it said that SPY was the longest running ETF. And to me, I'm like, okay, if you've weathered the storm through great like bull markets, bear markets, and you're still here with us and it's still growing, I wanted to add it to my portfolio just for more safety and to diversify, the spread just a little bit more. Now, VOO and SPY do overlap a lot. I'm not going to get too much into the details of the difference between the two because I'm just here telling you guys what I invested in as a 24-year-old. And no joke, every single paycheck that I would get, I would do the same thing that I said in the beginning of this video, is put it into my brokerage account and then divvy it up between those 3 stocks. And then it kind of came to the point that a couple years or a few years, when I say a few, I've only been doing this for 6 years, but let's say a couple years after I've been doing this, I started to just put it more into VOO and QQQ. And then in recent years, I've just been someone that's been doing more individual stocks just because I do enjoy doing more research about this. And ETFs are great for stability and great for building when you're first starting. But when you really start to look at this, there's a lot of opportunities that you can have and a lot more growth that could be exponential when you're looking at individual stocks, which if people want videos on that, I mean, I could talk about that. But I really wanted to make this video because as someone that just turned 30 and bought my house, you don't see people that, people feel like real estate is like a fever dream at this point. It seems impossible, right? And investing in the stock market as a long-term investor is literally one of the best ways for the average person, regardless of what your income is, to build some sort of wealth for yourself and to have some sort of financial safety net. And of course, when you're first starting out, it's very normal to be scared. It's very normal to be nervous and intimidated, which is why the 3 ETFs that I recommended were the 3 that I went out of my way to research when I was young in this, because I wanted to make sure that there was still some sense of security there. And I probably should have said this in the beginning of the video, but I just remembered it right now. I'll put it in the caption or the description as well, but I am not a financial advisor. Okay, always do your own research, do your own due diligence. When you're watching this video, don't just be like, oh, Melissa said this, so I'm just gonna go buy it. Always go look it up for yourself. But I just wanna share my experiences with you guys. This is just purely educational and story time-esque, but it really, seeing how the money has compounded just over 6 years, was so incredible to me. And that's what's given me the motivation this year to talk more about financial literacy, investing. And I specifically talk about this a lot on my Instagram and TikTok, and I want to bring that more here to my YouTube because it's great. There's a lot of people right now that can't afford homes, and people always say, oh, real estate is the best investment. But it's like, can the average person go buy an $800,000 home by themselves right now? Not really. But can the average person, do they have $20 they can set aside in their paycheck to invest in the stock market? The answer is yes. And I will be making a video about how you could start. I mean, I've made these videos on my shorts, but making more long-term or long format, like full length, that's the word for it. Full length videos for y'all. And please ask me whatever questions you want to ask me in the comment section below. Share your wisdom, share your knowledge if you're somebody that's much more seasoned in this. And hopefully we can motivate people and the community to look out for themselves, look out for their families, because at the end of the day, financial literacy is to your best interest. Okay. Anyways, I hope y'all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.